Okay, welcome to another riveting edition of Three Dudes Brews, episode 6. Three Dudes Brews is our liquid journey into crafted deliciousness in Rhode Island and around New England and beyond. My name is Buddy Thayer, and I'm happy to co-host this unique experience, testing out different palates, different tastes, perspectives. For all three of us, I'm happy to be joined by the Lord of the Lager, the Greekiest man I know down the other end there. My co-host,
Master Sangaruli.
And I'm Ed Patnod. How you doing, folks? We are here,
Welcome.
episode 6. We are here at the lovely Tower Hill Brewing with John and Ivan. Glad to have you. Thanks for having us. And why don't you tell the guys, everybody watching at home, where you guys are at, so we know.
Well, we've recently opened in March of this year, just before St. Patrick's Day weekend. So we had a good turnout for that.
Yep.
Obviously, we're still in the growing phases, so we are. Excuse me. We've hired John, and John's making some awesome beers. I haven't had a shitty one yet, so that's an awesome thing to claim. So
Yes.
we've gone to a couple of beer events. We won our first medal for a porter, so we're happy about that. We were named one of the best breweries in South Kingstown, which I think you are the only one. So
there you go.
Well, that's great.
But yeah, it's been an awesome experience so far. There's 3 other partners. We all have day jobs, so managing and running this brewery has been a challenge, to say the least, and trying to fit 24 hours worth of effort into 8 hours.
Yeah.
So it's been fun though.
You're definitely not alone on that side. I didn't mean to cut you off. We hear that a lot, where folks are just starting to open up their breweries, they're getting things going, and this is not their full-time gig.
Yep.
So it's definitely presents challenges, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So what exactly is the location of the address here?
The 25 Village Square Drive is our physical address.
Okay.
This is a brand new building. It used to be a spa. About 10 years ago, it burnt down.
Whoops.
So when we walked in, it was basically, there was still dirt on the ground. It was just 4 walls, pretty much. So we were lucky in that we were able to customize the space to our liking and our needs.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's huge.
Why did you pick this particular location? You guys are from around this area?
Yeah, we all live like 10 minutes away at the most. The other 3 partners live in the same neighborhood. I used to live there too. But yeah, we're 5 minutes away. We're right in Wakefield. So we were talking about potentially opening the space even before Whaler started. So it's been an idea that's been kind of brewing and festering, or no pun intended.
Pun intended.
So when I was able to finally convince them to do it, right? Because it's just a pipe dream, right? But I said, well, I'm doing it without you. And then they said, okay, fine, let's go.
Yeah.
This building, we were actually looking to be more in town, to be more accessible to foot traffic. We were thinking, 3-barrel system, really small, at least just to fit into some of the smaller buildings in town,
Right.
which is all there is. There's no big, massive buildings over there. This one, we were talking to one of the business real estate people that we know, and this one came up. So we said, well, 5,000 square feet is kind of too much for us. But the landlords made us a deal we couldn't refuse. So they're really excited to have us here. It's an awesome location. We're surrounded by restaurants.
It is.
I want to say there's eight restaurants.
It's like a small village down there.
It is a small village. We got Applebee's, we got the Torre Romana, we got Pasquale's, which is obviously renowned in the state for the best pizza. The movie theater is a huge plus. When people come out of there, they go, "What are we going to do now?" And
let's go grab
the street, right?
I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting on this road yet in beach traffic, like, oh man.
Yeah.
I had a brewery that let me just pull it in, have a few beers.
Yeah.
It's perfect spot, perfect location.
Yeah. We have apartments on one side of the property. We have a hotel on the other side of the property. So I mean, it's just There's a lot of
It's a perfect location.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You have everything centrally located in one
Yes.
area that you're going to need.
That being said, it's still a challenge. We're trying to figure out how to get the name out there because a lot of people know of the Commons, but they don't know that we're here yet. So, but it'll take time.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I've noticed is because you guys are a little tucked away.
Yeah.
So, you can't really see it from the road. But the beautiful thing is you got, University of Rhode Island's right up the road.
That's right.
So plenty of college kids up there to come down.
children.
Exactly. I mean, the ones that are over 21.
Yes, there's the adults.
There's the adults.
No
Yes.
underage.
No underage drinking.
So, but they are, right up the street. So once we start getting the word out and spreading the love, I'm sure it's going to start getting.
Yeah, it'll get busy. It'll get busy. We had a slight little uptick during the summer, as you would expect with all the tourists coming into town.
Yep. Yeah.
We're expecting it to be a bigger uptick next year, just because wording will spread and people will start coming in. So we're looking forward to that.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's a beautiful location. It's a beautiful building, and everything in here is it's clean, it's neat, it's modern, it's wonderful.
Yep.
It's a massive building and 5,000 square feet, like you said, and I can see definitely hosting like a party here, like some kind of function.
Sure.
We do have a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had wedding welcome parties. We've had bachelorette parties coming through here. Birthday parties. We have charcuterie boards, so all the women come in for that.
Nice.
Just those kind of events just to draw people in. On the outside of the building, we had an impromptu patio. It's still set up, but we're planning on building that out and creating an opening on this wall so that people can get in and out and kind of blend the outside with the inside a little bit better too.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
making it more of a cozy spot to go hang out.
Yeah, of course. One thing I noticed about your breweries, your beer list, you have 14 on draft.
Yep.
You have every style I think I've ever heard of or ever known, and you have seltzers. You have a very diverse menu.
Yep.
Is there any inspiration behind any of that? Is there any one style that drives you more than another?
I'll let John speak to a lot of that. I think the original strategy of the business when we first started was variety.
Yep.
Right. We didn't want to be a New England only brewery, a New England IPA, for example.
Right.
We didn't want to be a Belgian. We didn't want to be locked into anything. So variety, tourists coming in, right? Everybody has a different palate, different taste. So we wanted to have a different offering for everybody.
The show, we all have a different
Exactly.
and
Right.
taste. Exactly.
And I think to Ivan's point, try to have something for everyone, including those who don't necessarily like beer by virtue of having the seltzers and having different options available for the seltzers.
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
beautiful.
Well, that's one of those things, the seltzers have really been gaining popularity, I think, over the last couple of years because, there are a lot of women out there and men that don't like beer. And so that's great that you have something for everybody. And, and speak for myself, thank you, John. Thank you for the love of God. Thank you for not having a full list of all IPAs. So
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you're doing.
If that's what you do, and that's what you want it to do.
fantastic.
One of the three dudes supports IPAs, but anyway,
Well, I support them. We all support
We all
them.
support
It's just that I want to walk in and I want to have a variety. I want
I do like
to
that.
choose. I don't want to say IPA, New England IPA, West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my choice is either IPA, or IPA.
Or seltzer.
Or all right. So there's a Hefeweizen, there's a sour. I can go across the spectrum and have all of these different.
all these colors. Speaking of that, let's
Yeah,
get
let's,
into our first-
you're
let's talk
dying.
about beer
I see
already.
you dying.
Today.
So, as everybody knows, if you've been a fan of the show or if you're a newcomer, welcome. We do sample the beers where we're going so we can kind of give you guys some feedback. Plus, we play a little game. See who can win the coveted Top Cock Award. Currently, Costas is the top cock.
He's not going to hold it for long. It's
So
coming home.
he's trying for the dynasty, folks. He's trying. This will be his third in a row if he wins today.
It's not going to.
So we got to try to, I guess, cock block him.
Yeah, we're going to cock block him. It's that rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
So yeah, so in the event of a tie, we settle this in the age-old samurai tradition of rock paper scissors,
Very good.
As one should.
as one should, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, as most civilized cultures handle things.
With this rock paper scissors. Yeah,
So so
Yum.
Buddy has yet to win a duel of rock paper scissors. So
cheers all the way
Yeah.
It is.
down. Beautiful. Thank you. Cheers.
oh wow, that's nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's great though. I mean, look at that. Take one sip and look at the lacing already, folks. Look at that. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous thing.
It's clean.
I am
it's
a
little
sucker
bitter.
for great lacing.
It's it.
You know,
I like it.
It's like if you see John's glass already, look at that. It's beautiful. It reminds you of where your beer was.
Yep.
No, I'm going to say, I think what you have in your glass is the same as what we have. I'm curious as to know afterwards why you picked that particular beer. Right?
Well,
it looks like it might be the same, right? So,
it is.
all right. So
Yeah,
because
I
you
don't
had
know.
14 choices and you picked.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the style, and as you mentioned before, it's we don't want to have a whole bunch of all the same thing. We want to have some variety. Maybe a couple things are the same or similar, but there's something to be said for variety.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
And the good thing is too is that okay, I'm coming in this time. I'm drinking these beers, but guess what? Next time I come in, I'm going to try something else.
Right.
I've got options, so I know if I come, depending on my mood of the day, I can have whatever I want. I mean, because you guys are catering to that. It's a beautiful thing. Some places, when they start doing too many, I think they can kind of get out of their wheelhouse of like making sure that they're all good, So
Well, we still do that.
exactly.
And
That's a good thing. That's one of the things, we've been hearing. I mean, you guys right off the bat, gold medal Ocean State Brew Fest, 2024. I mean, that's fantastic. Right out of the gate. Right out the gate. I mean, that's fantastic for the porter.
Yep.
I mean,
I think the same also holds true if you're a brewery and you only have a limited amount and you're making the same things over and over again. There's nothing that's changing. So it's nice to have your flagships and you have certain things that you're known for. Excuse me, but you also want to have stuff that it's rotating in a changing seasonal type of brews that is gonna want to draw people in. For
absolutely.
Springtime, some summer ales, things of that nature, and then in the wintertime, you're expecting pumpkin beer, of course.
for the fall, yeah. we got head shaking already, folks.
I'm with you guys on that. I'm not a pumpkin beer.
We didn't make a pumpkin beer.
Myself, and I'm not a big fan of the trend. There are some good ones out there, but that's just not my taste. But porters and stouts, like in the wintertime, that's what I want.
Perfect.
I want a porter. I want a stout. So that's what we're expecting. So it's nice to have like flagships, but if you have like only 3 or 4, maybe 5 beers, and it's the same thing all the time. It's great, I guess, to know that I can always go there and find the same thing. It's always going to be available, but then at the same time, there's no variety. It's never changing. It's kind of stale after.
Yeah. That's the wrong kind of consistency that you want. You don't want to walk in every time and it's the same old, and you may only like one beer on the menu out of the 5.
Right.
So now what do you do? Is they're all the same all the time, and you're going to get bored of having that one beer constantly.
Yeah, we haven't really identified any particular beer as our flagship yet, so we really don't have one. We've initiated those discussions because we have, obviously, the locals are coming in, the regulars are coming in, and they're asking for specific beers. We're looking at the sales data, and we're looking at the ones that really fly off the shelf. So kind of thinking those maybe 3 or 4 are going to be the ones that we have year round.
Makes sense.
And continue the variety, right? Continue to inject other type of beers that people may not necessarily be either familiar with or used to finding in a brewery. So we've made some, a cream ale, for example, is one that John made, and a lot of people just they're not familiar with it, right? They just don't know what it is. So they're afraid to try it. A California Common. You never see that.
You don't see.
Is another beer that people go, we don't even know what that is.
No.
So we're starting to slowly educate the customer base on, you got to try something different.
Yeah.
I'll go around if there's not a lot of people around, and just like on a Wednesday, for example, I'll walk around with different types of beers to force people to try them.
Hey,
right?
that's
free sample.
Nothing wrong with that. And somebody comes up to me with a free glass of beer to try. I mean, I'm not turning it away.
And I can tell you, there's been a huge amount of people that I want to say the majority, 80, 90% of folks are saying, I never knew I would like that. Yeah. That's my new favorite beer. That's some of the comments that I'm getting. So it's working to educate the folks that, just try something different.
Yeah.
Right. Just because you don't like the name or it doesn't resonate or it's something you've never had before, give it a shot. You know,
Don't be afraid to try new.
absolutely,
Exactly. So I want to circle back for a second. So you both adamantly shook your heads when we mentioned the word pumpkin. So now it's been one of those things. We all know all the big box folks. You know, we know that everybody's cranking out pumpkins left and right. The last 10 years, probably everybody and their grandmother's got to have a pumpkin in September or August. You know, please, for the love of God, keep seasonal beer seasonal.
August, yeah, Pumpkinhead is August.
August, right? August.
You're working in summer.
Exactly.
You
Why?
killed me.
So
Why
why
did
did
you get in fresh pumpkin to make your beer?
you? They're not. I mean,
Not in August.
no.
That's just my opinion.
So why did you guys decide that you were not going to do a pumpkin?
Because everybody else is doing it.
Unless
And
Good answer.
to try to do something, a little bit different. No, we're not going to offer that. We're going to have fall offerings. We're going to, and there's going to be something that, you're going to find that you're going to enjoy. And our compromise on that end was, with the syrup. So we have for our seltzer, we had a pumpkin spice version of that. So if you want to add pumpkin to, some people were adding it to the Oktoberfest. I saw people adding it to the California Common.
Yep.
And there you go. There's your pumpkin beer. But, and it's got such a limited window,
Uh-huh.
yeah, right.
where people are in their pumpkin mode.
Yeah.
And that's what they want to drink. That if you get outside of that and you have a whole, fair amount of inventory left, that's going to sit there.
Yeah. But
You
good
know.
for you, though, because I would rather see the pumpkin off the menu and the dunkel on.
yeah, like
Yes. There aren't many
Yeah.
that are doing dunkels.
Yeah, that's
So,
few and far between.
yeah, exactly. So hats off to you folks for making sure you had one on there.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic.
Like the two newest breweries are the two.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah,
You start looking at everybody else and what they're doing and what they're not doing and fill that gap.
Mhm.
Why not? That's just smart.
Yeah, like John said, I mean, the experiment of mixing the pumpkin syrup
Mhm.
with the Oktoberfest, which by the way was an outstanding beer, it hit the spot
Mhm.
for those people. I mean, we even had the cinnamon sugar rim job
Yeah.
going on, and people loved it.
Everybody loves a rim job.
Yeah, right.
It's just it was flying off.
Yep.
As soon as I say that,
You knew it was coming. But I mean, you do what you got to do. At the end of the day, you're still a business, so, but stick to your convictions for the love of God. Thank you, so.
So how did you guys get into the brewing business? You said that there's 5 of you guys.
There's four of us.
Four of you.
Four of us kind of started this whole thing. I've been homebrewing for 20 years.
Yep.
As any home brewer will tell you, right? They want to, especially if they're making good beer and everybody likes it. Shit, if they like it, everybody else will like it. So I'm going to go pro, right?
Right.
So we started talking about this before Whaler started. So that kind of gives you a little point of reference.
That's over a decade.
Yeah, we would say it'd be nice if we can just take that building and put a brewery in there. Then next thing you know, Whalers goes in there. I was like, okay, well, there goes that idea. So we put that on the shelf for a little bit. And then I rehashed it again, probably just before COVID started. So I said, okay, well, if you guys don't want to be partaking in this idea, they're all entrepreneurs. 2 out of the 4 entrepreneurs. One's a VP of sales and procurement. So they had the experience and the know-how to help me start a business. So I said, how about you help me just put together the business plan, and I'll just go at it by myself. And I think once they started, answering questions and reading the plan and kind of thinking about it, they go, well, I kind of like this idea. So they all kind of jumped in. So I want to say it was probably November of 2020, right? So we're in full COVID mode. We decided, well, let's get this thing going. We started putting together the business plan. We started bouncing ideas.
I think that's a ballsy move.
Yeah.
In the middle of a global pandemic.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge, but what else are you going to do?
Yeah, right. That's just it. Everybody had a lot of free time on their hands at that point too. So
Exactly. So, yeah, we all jumped in and slowly we started, finding out, what size do we want? Where do we want it? I live in Charlestown, so I wanted it in Charlestown, but Charleston has rules that are just incredible sometimes for new businesses to come in. So then we found this place and we go, okay, well, let's lock into this. This place took us about a year to build out. So, I mean, we're just buying ourselves time. We looked up a consultant. We started talking to Derek, who was at Newport Craft. He's now at Rhode Island. He pointed us to Jeff Goodnow, who used to own or was part owner of Moniker up in Providence. So he kind of came in and kind of helped us with, selecting the equipment, selecting the layout, things to think about, what the piping is going to be, where to place things, strategically just kind of giving us ideas and guidance on that.
That's great.
So yeah, and then over time, we landed in this place. We built it. We wanted to originally start like any other brewery, industrial concept, right? Just start slow, small, but the building was just way too nice, and we were just thinking that we're gonna have a lot of people in here, so let's just build it out right the first time, and then we're gonna
Do it right the first time versus do it right the second time.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what though? It fits with the area. It stays on point with
And that was part of the
else is
concept,
around here.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Design. It fits in. It looks like it's naturally.
It belongs.
It belongs here. It belongs here down in this part of the state.
Yeah.
So and I love how in true Rhode Island fashion, you guys all live like 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
Because Rhode Islanders don't like to commute.
Yeah. So before I moved, we could throw rocks at each other
That's awesome.
and hit each other's houses.
They did.
Yeah.
I believe that too. Yeah. So how long were you guys been friends before?
Since 2004.
2004.
Yeah.
Wow. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So 20 years.
Hi.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at math.
John, let me ask you.
That's-
You've been brewing for quite some time now. This is you brewed in different breweries and been doing this for a while. Is there one style that you run to that you prefer to brew? Like, is your favorite?
It's tough to say. I mean, sometimes my favorite beer to brew is, what's the easiest one?
Mm-hmm.
I like a good IPA, New England, but they're not always the easiest ones to brew.
It is.
So I don't know. I mean, I like exploring different varieties. What's something we haven't done yet? I think we just did batch 47 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And I think we've repeated 2, maybe 3 in that time.
Right.
So constantly trying to, try something new or tweak something or, what did we do last time that, maybe we can experiment with this time around that, I don't know, maybe the ABV was a little too high for the style last time. Let's try dialing that back a little bit. Let's try some different hops in the IPA this time.
Do you have a favorite hop that you like to use? Do you have a certain combination?
I mean, like a lot of brewers, I probably fall back on, Citra's a big one, Mosaic, things like that. But, there are other ones out there that, we did one with New Zealand hops recently.
Yeah.
It was a good beer, but they're not, my favorite hops per se.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of, and obviously if there's a good sale on something that makes it more enticing as well.
Yeah.
Being honest, this is a business, and you guys
Yeah.
gotta make
Oh, yeah.
money. So
Yeah.
when things are on sale, that can definitely drive.
Hey, let's try that one.
Yeah, exactly.
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 Working in restaurants, it's the same exact thing. Like if there's like what's on sale, that's what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like you said, you got it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Still got to make a buck.
yeah, you still have to turn a profit. You have to make money off of what you're doing. As much fun as it might be to do this, like you're trying to make money. You're trying
Absolutely.
to feed family, and this is what you guys are.
And there's always going to be some where you lose money on one, you make it up on another.
Right.
That's just how it is. But so favorite styles, John. What's your favorite style?
Boy.
You can only have one the rest of your life. What are you drinking?
It's like favorite movie. You just can't break.
No. I'm putting them on the spot now.
I do tend to gravitate back towards the IPA.
IPA. Yes. Okay, Ivan, you had a few seconds here. Only
I
one.
want to say all of them. I can't take them all.
Nope.
Right?
All the other beer on the planet has gone bad.
Yeah.
Desert Island beer.
Yep. Exactly. You're stuck with one. What is it?
Yeah, I think a pale, a good, nice, crisp pale is kind of what I would gravitate to.
Nice, buddy.
Double IPA. So you knew what the answer was.
I knew what it was.
IPA sour style.
Well, I would have to say, I'm a big fan of the Bavarian style, like the Hefeweizens and stuff like that. So, that's if I had to drink just one, it would probably be that.
Hefeweizen.
Yeah. So, honestly, anything that's cold.
Yeah.
That's
right.
what I am. Anything that's cold, I'm willing to try any beer. But if I had to drink just one particular style, I would say I'd have to go with that.
Yeah, which makes it hard for me, especially. Yeah, right. Because I don't know where to start. Right. So I usually just go to whoever's behind the bar. It's surprise me.
Kind of depends on
use
what
that
you're doing too in the moment. Like if
Agreed.
I'm cutting the lawn, I don't want to drink a 12-pack of double IPAs. I'd be black out drunk in the backyard. I'd rather have
a crazy cat.
Yeah, right.
What's yours?
So, I'd say Pilsner.
Yeah.
I'd say a Pilsner. If you can pull off a good Pilsner,
Yep.
I'm a happy man. So I'd say that's probably my go-to. If I had to pick a second, I'd say a Marzen. I like the
There's not too
the
many
sweet.
people that
I like the malty. Yeah, I like that maltiness.
Marzen was killer. Killer.
I love
it
malts.
was out of here so fast.
I'm already looking for next October
Yeah.
now. Look at this.
We may even do it before.
Hey, listen. Now that brings me back to another point. Just because it's not October anymore, you can
It's a
still
Marzen.
you
It's
can
not
still
October.
do it. Exactly. Exactly. That's the thing.
It's a March
People-
beer.
People associate it with Oktoberfest. That's fantastic. But guess what, though? You can make it whatever you feel like making it, guys. There's nothing stopping you, right?
Or
Yep.
Marzen, a Dunkel, any of
Any of them. So, is there any beer that you would that's considered to be a seasonal that you guys would brew in like July if it was a winter beer? Would you guys do that? Would you guys brew a seasonal beer out of season?
I like a big stout
Yeah.
almost any time of year. I mean, I don't necessarily gravitate towards them in the summer, but sometimes, if the mood strikes, I'm not going to say no.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, our porter is one that I drank
Mhm.
from beginning to end. And it was hot this summer, so I drank it because it was clean, it was crisp, it just had that nice little snap to it.
Yes.
With obviously all the expected flavors behind it,
Yeah.
right? The roses in it.
I think your mood at the time that determine what you're gonna drink.
Yeah.
There are times where I'm like, and I'm not an IPA or double IPA kind of guy, and there are times where I'm like, I need a juicy beer.
Mhm.
I need that grapefruit. I need that citrus, and I'm running around looking for an IPA or like a New England IPA, not necessarily a double or something along those lines where I need something juicy. I need that when I'm like outside cutting the grass or whatever, and I'm like, okay, so chopping wood. All right, I need a porter or something.
Yeah.
I'm out there and I'm working, and I'm like, I need something like a hefty beer. So
So it is a feed of carbs, right? You got that energy level up.
yeah. So like those malty beers in the wintertime, those are definitely a hit. With all those malts and toasted, roasty, like coffee flavors and all that. So it's just wonderful.
All right, so I got another one for you. So everybody here, we love craft beer. Absolutely. We love the art behind it. We love the styles behind it. I'm catching up. So Buddy's done.
I'm writing notes.
Buddy's done. Buddy's like ready. He's like,
Yeah.
but so we'll appreciate the high quality. What's your guilty pleasure beer?
Yeah.
Like if I gave you $2, what are you looking to run and grab?
Guilty pleasure.
I'm not getting anything for $2.
Didn't ask for a dime. $2.
Well, it's funny. See, my mom had to leave early to take my brother to school and my dad to work because
$2.
Well, not these days, especially.
What are you?
Although there's some folks that are doing some sales at the end of the month. We're not going to talk about it now, but but no, if there's like that one beer that you would be ashamed to tell your friends that you're drinking,
IPAs.
he's like, I'm drinking it right now.
TBO.
PBR, Schlitz.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think some of those lighter, old fashioned, old Milwaukee beer.
Grandpa's
Milwaukee.
PBR's a good one for that. PBR's a good one for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
drafts.
I'll drink one.
The
just
dirty
for
line.
nostalgia. But I may end up with a headache in the morning.
Mhm. Oh, you will.
Yeah. So
Guaranteed.
It's just-
I have a friend from Scotland. Like he goes back and forth between the U.S. and Scotland all the time. He has a house there. He's got a house here. His wife's American. They live up in Massachusetts. But his go-to American beer is PBR. He thinks it's like the greatest American beer on the planet. And I've yet to have one. I'm not going to lie. I've never had a PBR ever. And he's like, you got to try it. Now, imagine the heavy, thick Scottish brogue. He's like, you got to try one. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But he thinks it's the greatest thing. He's like, this is like the best American beer ever.
One of the first times that we met with Jeff Goodnow, right, craft brewer. He was really into. I think his expertise is German style beers. That's kind of his go-to. And we had a meeting here. Then we went over to Applebee's. So we're just going to have a beer, maybe, an appetizer or something just to kind of keep on talking. And, we're all trying to figure out, Applebee's doesn't have a huge craft selection. Brian Sam Adams is up there and some of those, national brands.
Yeah.
And we all picked a national brand. And Jeff was the last one to pick. And he picked PBR. Now, here's a craft brewer, right? And we're all just kind of looking up to this guy as, wow, you got it, right? And he orders a PBR.
Known as a
He
PBR.
almost fell off our stools. I was like, what the hell are you doing? There's nothing wrong with a good PBR once in a while.
Oh,
Every beer has its place, right?
well, and that's just it, So, in the summertime, if I'm outside and it's hot, give me, a cold Coors Light or a Corona, and I'm fine with it.
I'll take a
Because
bank
why?
anytime.
Well, that's just it. Yeah, banquet. Thank you. You and your brother-in-law, they turned me on to those things.
Malty sweetness.
Well, that's just it, and they go down fast. You don't feel like you can't move after it. You can have a couple and you're fine. And it's one of those things where it's hot. You want something cold. You want something you can drink, and you want something that's still beer.
What's a lawnmower beer? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Middle length.
It's
Yeah, it's cutting the grass. It's yard work.
Yeah, it's like I stopped because I'm sweating to death and it's 110 out, and down that
That's right.
real
But
quick.
I drink like 7 or 8 of those and still like drive a car. It's still like pumpkin.
It's not
I can still go to work. You
Not
can't,
recommended.
but I
do
could.
not drink and drive.
We do not endorse.
No, it's not. Don't do it though. But I could.
He could. He's saying he could pull it
It's a
off.
magical world where laws don't exist.
He's not going to do it though.
In somewhere in the multi.
In theory, one could.
In theory,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
We don't
Right.
we don't condone that, kids.
No.
Not on this show.
Nope.
It didn't.
Thank you. So I got to say, moving along this lovely flight,
Yes.
haven't had a bad one yet, folks. And I'm not just saying because I'm sitting next to the two guys. Haven't had a bad one yet. It's really spectacular. I mean, so
God, that second one.
right? You guys have just opened, but I mean, John, it's like you guys have been here for a decade already. With the beers we're drinking.
You guys have
already.
just opened, but you said you're on your 47th batch.
Yeah.
You guys are
Exactly.
definitely moving some product.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And we're not going fast enough yet.
Yeah.
Right? John will tell you. We bug him all the time. Can you do more? Can you do more?
Trying.
This is not your full-time job. So if you don't mind me asking, what do you guys do?
This is my full time.
This is
Yeah, this is John's full-time job.
That's beautiful.
Good for you. I'm a program manager with supporting the Navy. So I work over at Newport.
Yeah.
One of the other partner is a CPA.
Yep.
In town. So obviously he does all our things.
something. Yeah.
The one guy, he was here today, Brian. He's our IT guy. So TV, sound, all that was his doing.
Yeah.
And then Bob, one of the Bobs. We have two Bobs.
Terrific. I'm Bob Slidell. This is my associate, Bob Porter.
Hi, Bob. Bob?
Why don't you go ahead and grab a seat and join us for a minute or two?
One of the Bobs is a sales and procurement VP for like a commercial kitchen outfitting company.
So you guys are like hitting like all the bases.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that was part of
They got a
it
guy
is-
for that.
Is I want
They got a guy for that.
I want a little diversity.
We're very Rhode Island.
So, being again in Rhode Island and there's 3 degrees of separation between anybody in this state. What code are you with?
34.
34. Code 10. So, for those of you who don't know, the Navy departments are coded with different numbers, and each number correlates to a specific mission that they do. So, yeah, I'm over in code 10.
Right solutions. So we're all over in code.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, there we go. Our IT guy, our production guy Joe is back there cracking up because him too. So
Should have told him it's classified.
That's
classified. Yeah, exactly. But,
Yeah, you're not going to make it out of here alive today. Sorry.
and that's those things that I tell my daughter all the time. I'm like, I can either confirm or deny the existence of Area 51.
That's right.
Go Army.
So his son's Army National Guard. I'm retired Air Force.
Yeah.
And now working for the Navy, and it's just how it is. But I mean,
Yeah, the partners will joke around that they don't know what I do. Right?
nobody knows what I do.
Nobody knows what I do.
My boss doesn't know what I do.
Yeah.
He's like, we're still giving you a paycheck, Ed. What are you doing?
They know I work for the Navy. They call me CIA sometimes just because, I mean,
Yeah.
locations, and sometimes I disappear, and sometimes I come back, but nobody knows what I do.
That's fair.
No, it's better that way.
It's the mystique of it.
That's right.
It's better that way.
I ain't no James Bond, I'll tell you that.
So you guys have 14 on tap. How many are in cans right now?
8.
8? Wow. Nice.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
What I noticed that you guys don't have is a sour.
This we do.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Costas, come on, though. Yeah,
Edith.
they
I
do.
didn't say it.
Edith is a sour. Yeah.
Edith
That's,
is a
that's
sour.
the UP
The
sour.
successor to Agnes.
Agnes was the first one. Yes.
All right. So which
I stand corrected.
so where do you guys get these names from? I mean, Edith, Agnes. I mean,
Yeah, where
are
do
we
you-
talking like ex-wives? Are we
George,
talking?
Which is Alter, which is fantastic, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, that's. Is that in cans?
Beautiful.
It is. We still have some.
For the
That's-
sour, we decided to go with like 19th century type of names, like
Yep.
of old sour ladies.
Oh yeah, right.
I got a few names I could give you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we every now and then we
Off
get nothing
camera,
else to
of
talk
course.
about. We talk about names. You know,
Yeah.
it's a lot of the other beer names that we have. I think the one of the strategic things is we're south of the tower.
Mhm.
It's just a landmark. So for those that are from South County, south of the tower means something. It's like being in Newport, right? They're islanders. They don't go over the bridges.
No,
right?
they never do, folks.
no.
They stay on Aquidneck.
Exactly. So our strategy going forward with some of the names are keep them local, right?
Mhm.
So we want nautical. We want anything that refers to like down Main Street was one of our New Englands, right? It's just down Main Street.
Makes sense.
Or south of the tower, like you said.
South of the tower is our pale ale, towering down under. So we have a lot. Pilot boat is another one that we have double.
Yeah, right.
So we try to keep the names kind of to the area so that it means something to some of the locals that are coming in.
Wait, I think this is the double. Actually, that I asked for an IPA or a double IPA, and yeah, this is pretty good. So I like it a lot. Now, what goes into something like this? What kind of hops are I use for something like this?
I don't know which one you have.
I think it's the double IPA.
Okay.
Double don't.
Atlas Moon.
Yeah, I do.
It's Atlas Moon that has
Oh, is it?
Galaxy
I
and
noticed-
locally grown Comet hops from Hunting House Hop Yard up in Gloucester, Rhode Island.
I don't
Nice.
believe Atlas was on the.
The other one, Towering Down Under, is the other one that we have on right now.
Yeah, maybe.
So that had some New Zealand hops, Rakau and Wakatu. Although I was corrected at one of the beer shows recently, I think it's like Rocco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Atlas is that the double IPA?
Yes.
Okay.
That's at 7.7. I think our last double was 9.3 or something like that. It was up there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So I like that because that's what I was talking about. When I need a juicy beer, that's what I'm going to be thinking of.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Citra, as these guys are well aware of. But that pineapple, that grapefruit type of, it's well balanced, right? It's smooth, it's clean.
It's not a pine tree.
Yeah, it's
Right,
not like I'm licking a pine tree, like the car air fruit.
Yeah, pine.
Yeah, exactly right. I got sap all over.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay.
That's fine. Well, that's fine. If you like that, that's fine. If that's your thing, by all means, please enjoy that. But that's not this dude's not into licking his, pine tar. So
It's okay, Carl.
Buddy is.
buddy,
Buddy
so
definitely.
that's that
Definitely
guy
is.
right there. But like again, if I was looking for that like juicy IPA in the summertime, it's hot, and I'm like, I want something that's gonna like just hit those notes. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's got some body, but it's still crisp.
Right.
Yeah, its finish is very clean.
Yeah, the finish is clean.
Yeah.
The finish is smooth. So it's
And it's not a pine tree.
right.
Right.
But it's again, it's got those notes of like pineapple and citrus and grapefruit. Those notes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's great.
It goes back to that where it seemed like for the longest time everybody was trying to out hop the other.
Right.
I swear they're like, oh well, we
I'm
double
so-
hop dry. There was
So
no
glad that
triple
trend
was
is going
right. Thankfully,
And honestly, even I like the triples. I love the doubles because it's just enough. When you get into the triples and the quads, oh my god, some of them like, oh my god, like so sweet. It's like it hits you like in the back of the eyeballs.
Yeah.
It's not I don't know.
it's not always a good thing.
Yeah.
Way too
Yeah,
much.
more's not always
Even
better.
my ears will tingle on it. I'm like, whoa.
Right. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a little much. Yeah.
Over so many pounds per barrel for hops with the IPAs too, you start getting diminishing returns.
Yeah.
So, we're I don't want
Set
to be
the
throwing
point of
good
set.
money.
No,
into
that's
bad
just
beer, so-
you're only extracting so much, and like you said, after that,
Right. It's just
just
it's
wasted
unnecessary.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
wasted it.
So, try to fine tune it so that, we're putting in the right amount to achieve the the level of flavor and aroma that we're trying to get without overdoing it, without wasting money.
Right. Some breweries where they have a huge variety of like double IPAs or a huge variety of like high end, like sweet, high APV beers. But after a while, they kind of like all taste the same. Honestly, there's no variance in the taste. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
No, I mean,
Some of these bigger brewers are just like, all right, you're doing the same beer. You just like
you're just putting a different name on it.
completely, yes. It's like same beer.
It's like a base. It's like a base beer, and then you're just adding different things to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like taking a sauce and just adding. All right, so now I'm gonna add some spice to it. Now it's gonna be spicy. Now I'm gonna add this to it, and it's gonna be sweet. And now so
They have their mother beer.
Yeah.
They get sweeter and sweeter though, man. My palate just says no, buddy, at this point. Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about favorite styles. We've talked about, what you guys like to brew, what you like to drink. What do you hate? What is the one that you steer away from? You may drink it if somebody hands it to you, but you're like, yeah, I'm not ordering another.
Yeah, for me, it's any heavy dessert stout.
Oh,
When you start putting in, tiramisu and a lot of just popcorn and marshmallow.
I say,
I'll
I
try
love
it, but it's like,
I'm a sugarholic, so
yeah.
don't get me wrong.
which is fine. That's it.
I'm a sweet tooth to no end.
Yeah.
You should
So am I.
In my car. It's just stuff with candy.
Yeah.
But, I like to leave it as candy and not beer, right?
Yeah.
I prefer the beer flavored beer.
I've had plenty of those where it's like, I drink one, great, I enjoyed it. I don't want a second, but
So more of a
Not today.
centrist. More of a centrist when it comes to the beer.
Yeah.
Not like the extreme fringes of
Yeah. No, I don't want banana bread in my beer.
Oh, and it's funny. I stood in line at like the old Trillium years ago for that one special release, so like that one desserty stout, which is like, it's like a little bit more expensive and it's a little bit more tastier. But yeah,
Speaking of, have you guys thought?
go on.
Have you guys thought about doing any like special releases, like barrel aged? That's like I know that's a thing on the market where a brewery will have your normal beers, and then you do bottled beer, where it's it's a premium price, and you're paying extra, and it's usually barrel aged, or there's it's made with magical pixie dust or whatever.
I love pixie dust.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to have this.
Yep.
So you gotta. It's a release or whatever, special release, right? And then you gotta come in and try it.
We have some ideas cooking for our anniversary coming up in March.
Awesome.
So
Mark Pappy did the barley wine, which is different. Not a lot of people do it, and
It's fantastic.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh my god,
we've got one in the tank right now.
nice,
Nice. So
To be continued.
yes. So John, which
Look forward to
one are
March.
you staying away from? What are you steering clear?
I'm not a huge fan of Belgian styles. Some of those, like the POF, like just the phenolics, the cloves, banana, things like that. I just get a headache.
I'm right there with you.
I used to work for Foolproof. I was there for 6.5 years, and it was a tremendous beer, but I got the worst headaches on the days that we would package the saison.
wow,
Yeah.
Just because of to the point where I'd have to sit down. I'd just
Really?
splitting headache, migraine from those phenolic notes. And they're great beers. I totally get it. It just doesn't work for me.
Well, we say it all the time. There's always there's a beer for everyone. Not everybody's going to like every beer, but there's a beer for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Saisons, if I see a saison on the menu, I am not touching it. I do not like it. It's something. No, I can't. I can't. There's something.
And there's some that I really like.
yeah.
Man, it's just it's the banana note with the yeast, and it's something about I can't do it. Now, when you said headache, the one beer that will guarantee me a headache every single time, Budweiser.
Oh, all right. Bud Heavy or Bud Light?
Either one. But the Bud Heavy is definitely going to do it to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the rice. I don't know if it's how they whatever it is that they do. There's something that does not agree with me, and I end up with a wicked.
They make so much of it, and they package so much of it. It's such a big batch.
I get a wicked headache every single
I
time.
come from a Bud Light family, so
Yeah,
I
that's
was a Bud Light guy like back in the day too myself.
and that's just it. I drank my share.
Bud Lights.
I went to college and
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I remember my first beer. My father-in-law for example, before he started getting turned on to the craft beer scene, he was going through cases of Bud Light. I mean, that was his go-to. I was every day. I'm coming home from work. I'm pounding back, a bunch of them, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you grow up, you move on, you get more complicated tastes, and that's what we're hoping everybody's going to do, folks. Yeah. We're hoping that if you're out there, you're starting with the Bud Lights, you're starting with the Budweisers, and you're moving on. You're trying something a little more complex, quality, not cost. Exactly. You're stepping out of your comfort zone. You're trying a different style. That's what we're hoping everybody's going to do and take away from all this is that there are so many craft breweries in the state. There are so many different beers to try. Get out there, get out of your comfort zone, try something new. But without a doubt, I will end up with a wicked headache if I start drinking Budweisers.
Mm-hmm. So that leads us to a question. What was your first beer?
Miller High Life.
Didn't even have to think about that. Yeah. That was like, he's like, yep.
And how old were you?
Oh.
We don't condone underage drinking, but it happens.
When I was really drinking a lot of Miller High Life, I mean, I was 18, 19. Yeah. My first beer, I grew up in Puerto Rico. So my first beer was a Medalla. And I was drinking those at 13.
Okay. We're gonna come back to that. I've got something else we're gonna come back to. So John, what about you? What was your first beer?
It was probably Budweiser or something. It didn't, leave like a great impression. I remember thinking I didn't like beer for a long time.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Like, why would anybody drink this?
Like my dad homebrewed and stuff, and he would, often say that like the European beers are better than the American beers, So I was probably 18 and went to a bodega in New York City, and I was like, I'm going to get European beer. And I tried my first Guinness, and that was kind of the moment where I was like, I guess I like beer. I just don't like shitty beer.
Right. I think I had that same experience when I had like my first like Bass or Guinness, and or
old speckled hen.
Yeah. Things that were outside of the realm of like a Coors, Michelob, Budweiser, something along those lines that I was like, beer can actually taste good.
Yep. Has flavor.
I don't have to have a headache. Right. And it's just like, wow, this is great. Like, this is totally different. Like Killian's Irish Red.
It's beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. But me, it changed completely when I went from, I drink a can and it was warm. It was awful. It was a Bud Heavy. I was a youngster. I'm not going to mention my age. And then I had draft beer in high school, and I'm like, wow, this is so much. This is good. I loved it.
Fresh.
It made all the difference to drinking a draft and drinking it in a can.
So
what was? Did we answer that question?
Budweiser.
I think so.
Yeah. So for me, it was Red Dog.
Red Dog.
Oh dear. Yes, Red Dog. Red Dog.
Who were that?
You're right. I'm not going to say. It was really.
Listen, mine was a Michelob, and I was 8 years old, and it was in the lava lamp bottle.
Nice.
Well, there you go. Well, since you mentioned your name, I was fishing in front of the Greystone Sulphur Club. A young 11-year-old boy fishing in the Kentucky River, and we saw some like Bud Heavies on the ground that the Sulphur Club had an event the weekend before.
Somebody left it behind.
Beer, let's drink some beer. It's terrible. What the? Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. So my brother had managed to sneak a bottle home from a family event, and I still to this day do not know how he managed to do it, and had it hidden in the fridge. My mother, for some reason, never found it, I guess. So next thing you know, he opens it up and we try it, and I'm like, this is disgusting. I'm like, how does anybody like this? And even when I was approaching legal age, Sam Adams, my buddies. Because all my friends growing up were a couple of years older than me, so they were 21 and I was still 18. And we'd get Sam Adams, and I'd be like, no, this is no, I want to like it, but no, I don't. This is too much. So
that was my go-to in my early 20s.
Yeah,
Sam Adams. I
like the micro brews.
Yeah, sure.
It ended up being mine. Once my palate caught up to the rest of me.
I think that. In New England, that was probably the one brewery that was everybody's gateway into
for sure, craft beer.
Yeah. And so many varieties too. Yeah, it wasn't just the lager. It was the whole already. Like they had good IPAs, they had good sour, they had good all kinds of beer.
Right. And then, you started having all of these microbreweries opening up and it's like, oh, they became destinations. Yeah. And now the scene is just, it's incredible, and somebody asked me the other day, like, all right, so 3 dudes, right? What are you going to do when you hit every brewery? Well, some of them close.
You go back.
And some of them are closing and then new ones open up.
Yeah, right.
So there's just, so many beers out there to try. So if you can't find something that you like,
you're not looking.
You're not looking. Keep trying.
You are not trying.
Yeah. And a lot of these breweries have like rotating. That's the same every time. So you go to one brewery in January, they'll have something different.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to try new things. Try it at least once.
For sure.
You never know whether you're gonna like it or not. I'm not a big spicy kind of guy, but if there's a spicy beer, I'll try it.
Oh, I'm gonna make him try it. So because I'm usually the first one lined up to get it.
Cocoa with a cocoa picante.
Cocoa picante.
Oh my God!
I love
that.
I love that.
But you know what though?
It's like one of my favorites. Shout out to Spike. I love you guys.
So, but a pair, as far as like a pair, like you could take that and you could pair that with things. Yeah. I love like some of the newer trends, like of course sours, smoked beers. Like a Rausch beer, things along those lines. I had never had a Rausch beer before, like a smoked beer. And, the first time I tried it, I was like, wow, this is incredible. I had it. I ate it.
Yeah.
And I was like, as soon as I
pulled pork.
as soon as I ate it, I was like, I had to go home and smoke a pork butt.
Yep.
I was like, get in the car. We're going to the store because this has got to go, this has got to pair with this because this is incredible. Now, do you find that you guys do like pairings with your beers? Like, do you find that like, okay, you're drinking this and you're going to have something that goes with it? Like, like, is there something that you would eat with like a particular beer? Yeah. It's a good question.
No, I don't think I've gotten to that point.
No.
Of pairing. We do have, I think there's a couple of chefs from URI that come in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they're always sampling beers and they're going back and working with pairings, but we haven't made that connection with them yet.
Yeah. Like I would taste something like that. It was like pineapple and like grapefruit and stuff like that and be like, let's do a country ham.
Hawaiian pizza.
Yep.
Hawaiian pizza.
And I made a chili recently with our Witch's Altar Stout.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
That must have been incredible.
Oh, it's great.
Yes.
Yeah. I just recently did one with Foolproof's Mexican hot chocolate stout.
Mm-hmm.
And the spice notes in there and the malt and everything, it just paired really well with the chili.
I was there yesterday when they were packaging it. So
Nice. Nice. So I want to come back to something. Ivan, you said, you grew up in Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
You had a local beer. So anybody here, foreign beers outside the U.S., what would be your favorites if you've had one? We got your first one. What would be your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did the Oktoberfest in Germany a few years ago.
You're lucky, man.
And I fell in love with the Paulaner beer. I still have some at home, so that's kind of the one I would go for.
John?
I tend to gravitate towards some of the German lagers. Paulaner's good. Weihenstephan, some of the ones like that, especially Oktoberfest styles, Martin styles.
Buddy, you seem to come up with one.
I got one, dude. So I've only traveled out of this country twice to go to the Bahamas, which was nice. I had Red Stripe, which is not on my. It's not that Red Stripe.
Yeah,
it was great when I was 18, but it's not great. But I did go to Canada, and Canada has some tremendous beers. One of the beers that I had was Labatt Blue, which on draft in Canada is so much better than people say. It's so much stronger.
Yeah.
I'd say Labatt Blue in Canada.
Labatt Blue in Canada. Costas?
I've traveled quite a bit and extensively throughout the Caribbean and Europe. And I would have to say it depends on I think the country that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm in Greece, I got to have a mythos.
Yep.
And if I'm in England or whatever, I've got to have an English beer. Or something in Ireland, like it's when in Rome, right?
I've had a Guinness on Ireland.
Right. I've had a Guinness in Ireland, and it's it's a Guinness and Highland.
Yeah.
Like that's a check that off the bucket list.
Right.
You know, so it's again, Ready? God, I can't just
Get
you know.
one.
So
okay.
if I'm
So
in Mexico, sorry. So if I'm in Mexico, I'm gonna drink a Pacifico
okay.
or a Dos Equis.
Okay.
You know. So I'm not having a Corona. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I like myself too much for that. So I'm not having a
So
I don't care how much lime you put. You know. So
no, if you have to add fruit to your beer, to get it down, you know. But so for me, it would be a Red Horse from the Philippines,
okay.
and I first had that when I was in Korea. We got it there because it was like $5 a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, and it was 9%. So. Yes, yeah. So needless to say, we drank quite a lot of Red Horse while we were there.
Yeah.
You can get it here in Rhode Island. At least you used to be able to. There was a liquor store in Cranston that did carry it for a little while, but the American version is not 9%.
Right.
They scale it back for us. But so I think it's time we do our scoring and find out who today's top cock is.
It is
So,
time.
Ivan, if you could reach under and grab the magical slip there. And we can, okay, so if you don't mind, sir, the first one, the Hellas, which is not what I got.
What's the name of that?
The Hellas is
Hellas.
yes.
I went with the Pilsner.
I went with Alice. You would. I don't know why I put that.
I thought it was a float. I'm not gonna lie, but
What do you think it was?
a float. Now, mind you, folks, we haven't had any of the beers here before, so be easy on us, please.
What were the pallets here?
All right, so number 2.
Atlas Moon.
Okay, I got that one.
Got that right.
Yeah.
All right, and number 3.
Is a Dunkel. Dunkel George.
All right, I get that.
Uncle
one right.
George. All right,
And the last one.
the last one is
Which is
Alter. All right, so I managed to get 3 out of 4.
I only got
3
I
out of
only
4.
got 2.
3 out of 4. So you know what that means, folks? It is time for rock, paper, scissors.
Beat him, Ed. Take it, Ed. You got him, Ed. Ed, you're a doctor. He's not. Come on, you got this.
How many rounds are you doing?
3 rounds. 3 rounds. Best out of 3. You ready?
1, 2, 3.
Ooh. Yeah. Come on, Ed. Come on, doctor.
So
Is that? Wait a
Forgive
second.
me.
I'm sorry. Is it a 3-peat?
Yeah. 3 people.
we're gonna put an asterisk next to this one, though, folks. So
A dynasty?
unfortunately,
Am I in the same league as
Ivan,
Tom Brady?
if you could reach that. For me. So, unfortunately, folks, I've got to hand the top cock back to this man.
Please, sir, hand me my cock.
Yes, I'm glad it's out of my hands.
Oh,
God. So, you know, I don't know what to say, folks. We're gonna try and take them down next round and break the dynasty up. But you know, I want to thank you guys both
Look at that.
for taking the time out this morning to sit and meet with us and talk beer and
let us drink.
let us drink your beers and to tell us more about this wonderful place. You know,
Spending time with you, gentlemen. and,
Yeah.
enjoying these quality craft beers and learning about your brewery and about your start in this. You know, it's been great.
Yeah. So everybody, make sure you get down here to South Kingston.
It's not that far.
It's not that far.
It's right up the Route 1 guy on the way to the beach. It's right
South of the tower.
South
South
of the tower.
South of the tower.
So
South of the tower.
get out here at Tower
It's on
Hill
the right
Brewing.
hand side. You can't miss it.
No. you
Before
can't.
we cut off though, on your way down here, stop in East Greenwich at Crafted Hope and grab 3 Dudes in a Brew. It's our porter collab that we did with the guys at Crafted Hope. They just opened a couple of weeks ago. It's heavy chocolate. It's beautiful. I just gave Joe a growler this morning. It's wonderful. So
Grab ours, keep on moving, get down here to Tower Hill, can't talk now, and you know, come say hi to the guys and
He's in shock.
get some high.
Yeah.
That's just they're all fantastic. And seriously, guys, every single one of
14 fantastic beers. You cannot go wrong.
these, fantastic. Fantastic. So here's to hoping you guys are around for many, many years to come, many more awards. We'll add some more gold to that list there,
Yep,
and
yep.
we'll keep going.
Fantastic.
All right, guys. So for myself, Ed Costas,
Costa Sangruli.
Buddy, there.
3 Dudes Brews. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate
Cheers.
it. Cheers. Drink local.